Okay, welcome guys to this new story I just made up on my mind, and it is what if Naruto had the Karma Seal? So, with the Karma Seal, you guys must be wondering, like, how did he get it? Well, so this is how I'm gonna make Naruto actually get the Karma Seal. So, also this will be a good story. I just seems like it's gonna be a really good story if him being neglected. So that's what it is about today. So what I'm doing for this one is Naruto, right? And forgot his name. No, not Naruto. But everything was the same. But like almost all my videos, Naruto survives the Death Reaper, and then he neglects Naruto because he says, well, he shouldn't have got himself caught, even though Naruto knows that he's a baby, he can't do anything. Only reason why he says this is because he wanted someone to blame because for the third Hokage's death. So he announced to the village that Naruto's the third. Like Naruto is the person who killed the third Hokage. He holds the soul of Kyuubi, hence by his three whisker marks and his tintish red hair mixed in between yellow, like blonde hair. So we're gonna skip all the way to we're gonna have a 5 year time skip. Also, Naruto had three siblings. No, let's make it four. Narumi, Menma, Mito, and we're gonna name the last one will be let's go Minato Jr. Like that. So during that time, each one of them, Mito, Narumi, and Mito and Menma will hate Naruto because they looked up to the third Hokage and their dad, of course. While Kushina will also hate Naruto because of the Kyuubi been extracted from her, and she also just blamed Naruto as a scapegoat, basically. And neither one of them really cared about Naruto. And during this time, Naruto would just be depressed, on the verge of collapsing in on himself. Like he's been hurt, mind, well, mentally and physically. So he's on the breaking point. And what he does is just he sits in the basement where they locked him up at, with chakra seals everywhere. He drains his chakra so that he can't even do a single jutsu to escape. Can't reinforce his body to open the door, nothing. He just sits there and eat rotten food that they give him on Sundays, and sometimes, if he's lucky, on Tuesdays, which will be the leftovers of whatever food they had before, well, the day before Monday or Sunday. So we wake up to Naruto entering his mindscape. His body is being malnourished for 5 years. Even though Naruto is the youngest of all siblings. Well, you say he's the oldest of all siblings. And he's been neglected so much, even though he has all of the Kyuubi in him. So he has 100% Kyuubi. And Kyuubi was peaceful as soon as he seen Naruto. Reason is because he sensed that just a little bit of Hagoromo's chakra was inside of Naruto. So he kind of figured it was going to be the old man's reincarnation. So, during this time, Now, like the nine tail QB, basically, will just heal Naruto. And one day he comes to the Mindscape. Naruto's depressed, but he's smart for his age. He's a prodigy in many things. So I'm just gonna skip this part. I'm just gonna tell you the details. Basically, they talk, and the Ninetales is convinced by Naruto how hurt he is, just proving to his father that Ninshu can be turned and destroyed. Brother, same person he created it to connect each other for. So now it's like she, uh, yes, Naruto is on the verge of collapsing, but thanks to Naruto's being there, he prevented it. Give him a friend. So Naruto does something unexpected. He had basically figured out what the kanji on the top of the seal is. So he just ripped the paper off. Of course, Hiruzen or Naruto didn't place a safety seal on it. So of course, the seal completely opens and then Naruto is free. And all that chakra that was holed up in the seal just starts gushing out of Naruto. Using this time, QB took control of Naruto's body with his consent after all, and breaks him out and just leaves the village. Now, let's just say he goes to the forest of death. And in the forest of death, he trains and gives basically just collapses on the floor. Ninetales was kind of training his body to handle that much chakra, to use it as much as possible so he wasn't kill the kid. During this time, Naruto was still in his mindscape watching this whole thing. Gibi talked to Naruto a few things before because it was a sudden release. So the Kyuubi basically tells Naruto his full name, Kurama. And Naruto is basically just proud of this. So what he does is he just thanks the Nine Tails. And he says, "Thank you for at least sparing my body in a good spot." The Nine Tails, Kurama replies, "I ain't gonna bury you, kid. I'm gonna make sure you survive the extraction." Well, me coming out of you, of course. So Naruto says, "How? If a Biju is extracted from their host, they die." And Kurama says, "That's maybe true, but not all cases are true. And at least we Biju know how to stop this problem from happening." So what Kurama does is he explains that if the Biju gives the host their name, their power, a little bit of their power, they might be able, a slim chance, might be able to exit the body and still be able to use the Nine Tails chakra. Just like 0% of it, like a sliver of chakra. And still survive it with 0 to none chakra at all. So basically, while this is happening, Grandma explains that he's going to bring all of his chakra from the seal, outside of his body. So it basically turned into like a cloak. So one tails is gonna go straight up to 8 tails. And during this time, he will make a Biju Dama and just start condensing that Biju Dama all the way down to like the atomic level and reconstruct his body there. That way, all the chakra, since he's in 8 tails form, will be visible to everybody. But Naruto will be in the deepest. No, let's skip that. He's too big for that. Let's put him in the 6 tailed form, and he just basically creates his own body that way. And during this time, he takes on a muscular body, red hair, a few whisker marks, and like fox-like features like a tail. And see, yeah, we're just gonna do that. Wearing the red shirts with the sun on it. No, yeah, let's put a fox on there. Sun, where a fox is just laying on the grass meadows, and that would be Kurama in his human form. So Naruto basically leaves his mindscape to wake up to Kurama going over his injuries and treating him, like basically just healing him for no wounds. And while doing all this, Naruto is just he wonders, thinking about is they gonna even notice he's gone? Back at the Namakaze residence, Minato is going through some paperwork in his office. Dang. Oh yeah, damn. I can't seem to get away from this paperwork. Whenever I go leave after my job is done, there's always somewhere that follows me. Man, only if I figured out what Hiruzen did to take care of the paperwork. And then he got us an idea. But if you pass the time by creating a jutsu, since he's bright. So he starts working on a jutsu that's going to be even more powerful than Rasengan. He wants to basically combine the Flying Raijin and Rasengan together. By doing this, he'll achieve. I'm going to name that type of jutsu. Hanger Jutsu. It's a weird name, but you even should see. Hanger Jutsu. So he creates the Hanger Arts. He marks down this in his notes. And he figured Naruto would be a good testing dummy. So he walks downstairs. And he sees the front gate. He unlocks the gate through some complicated hand signs, ending at the Ram sign. The first gate opens, and all you can hear is chains, just doom, 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 scraping against the brick in the chainway as the gate finally opens to reveal the second gate. This time, the door was more brick built, more prison structure like, with seals on it. And Minato starts going through more complicated hand signs. And he landed on the monkey sign. The gate opens. Again, with the same sound. Minato always makes sure the seal is at top place. Make sure to do 3 check-ins before he goes through the next door. Never know if the demon tampered with the seals, he says. So he finally arrives at the last door, the third door, which was more reinforced than the first, second. Well, he was basically reinforced. All of them were, with the first and second being the strongest. So he looks through the people and sees no one there. And he noticed the fourth gate was just destroyed, opened. Looks around. The demon couldn't have gotten through these doors because they was all in perfect shape. Nothing wrong with them. Not even a slit hinge in the security system I put on them. Even if Genin or Chunin try to hide this, or maybe a cage, they wouldn't be able to hide this. The seal basically creates a random color inside the door. Just randomly spams it. Every 60 seconds, no, 1 second. You have to know the Flying Raijin to actually unlock this gate. And even then, it will alert the door user, whoever is opening the door. Which means he got out another way. Dang demon. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, the dang demon. So he alerts Kushina. And all the kids, too. He starts searching for Naruto. Until they finally figure out how he escaped. There is a gigantic claw mark on the right side of his cage, which opened up later to reveal another, like multiple scratch wounds on the wall, which led out right next to the third gate. And that's how he got out. And I never thought of reinforcing the whole area around him, since even if he's a Hokage, he does get lazy sometimes. he does this and he convinces, like, basically just flares his chakra. All animals in the area come to his location, and what they do is just search the area, going from the forest of death, like the you can say the very first layer of the forest of death to the second, and that's back because nobody actually went to the fifth layer of death, the center layer of death. And Naruto is just training there. He's been training there. Years and years go by. Time skip. We're gonna have 6 years go by. Naruto is now hold on, excuse me. So while this happens, Naruto just trains. He's basically 12 years old now. And he knows it's just around time for the Chunin exams coming up soon. And in those 6 year time skip, Naruto's been working from his chakra control to taijutsu with the Nine Tails, Kurama. Just going over everything that he should know at his age. And Naruto figured out, well, Kurama figured out that Naruto had all chakra natures, including the special ones, including Genkai's, and also Mokitan and the Sharingan, including the Byakugan. So Dojutsu, he has that. And then he also has a special one. He's basically trying to create a new jutsu as well. He invented Shadow Clone Jutsu. Basically, he works on his shadow bloodline. Oh, Genkai. He focuses on that, and then he multiplies using his own shadow. And while he uses his own shadow, he doesn't put his chakra in it just yet. There's 2 steps. He basically converts earth to mud, and then you start making himself out of mud and shadow, making this the perfect shadow clone, even more than the canon's shadow clone. Not only can they live and dispel only if they want to, but they can also take damage and not disappear like a normal shadow clone would. They also have the same side effects of, like, if you they get intel for you and they dispel themselves, you get their knowledge, and also they got their own chakra generator. Basically, like, they start off with their own chakra system and chakra level. So this way, Naruto won't have to split his chakra to make them. Of course, he does at the beginning, but he gets that right back in the flash. So Naruto just uses jutsu, and he named it Shadow Jutsu. No, Shadow Clone Jutsu. King Shadow. Yeah, he named it. Basically, he has styles for it. King Shadow being the toughest shadow. So there's different factions. Basically, look more like the Shadow Monarch from Soul Leveling, but different. He can basically King Shadow's jutsu is basically only shadow, like I said, mud, which means there's no more shadow clone jutsu, but he gets 4 times everything. So he can gather chakra and it'll be 4 times more pure, or just train it and it'll go by 4 times as fast as Canon's shadow clones. So Naruto is becoming more OP at this second. So 6 years go by and Naruto level of power in taijutsu and ninjutsu is around Jonin level. Well, Kurama decided to go back to the Leaf Village because you need to pass in order to become a Genin. And after that, you can do whatever you want. Because basically, once you become a Genin, you become like an adult. So Kurama was taking this chance to do that. So Naruto changed his name from Uzumaki and Namikaze to Otsuski because he has met with the 66 paths and also got the 66 paths abilities, unlocking the Sharingan straight up to the Rinnegan, which Naruto was again helpful for. Well, the Bakugan, he had the watered down version of it at first, but for some training methods, when Kurama was in his second stage of power, forced Naruto to immediately go into his Bakugan while trying to get him almost unlocked the Tensagon. There was just a millisecond of power release and a cyan color coming out before it completely disappeared. Meaning Naruto's body is strong enough to handle the Rinnegan except the Tensagon. So he's still working on the Tensagon. And during this time, they walk back to the village. Naruto looking older, more handsome than what he was compared to when he was 5. When he walks through the village, everyone, every girl was just looking at him like, I want him to be my boyfriend and stuff like that. Even the Jonin instructors and anybody girl related just wanted Naruto for themselves. Till they seen a man walking next to Naruto, an older man with red hair and buff looking, with no headband on. Neither did Naruto. Naruto was wearing some ceremonial robes, the one that Kaiga usually wears, but it's more designed like the one on screen right now, a little bit grayish and white. Basically, it has Kaiga colors on it, and couldn't really find. We'll try to edit some color onto this, so I just decided to be lazy, like I usually am. Sorry for being lazy, guys, but this is how far I got on it, on searching for a karma seal. So basically, Naruto Otsuski like goes to Hokage office, and Naruto could not figure out who this person is. So he asked the person next to him, and they say their names is Otsuski. My name is Kurama Otsuski. Kurama says to Naruto with a little bit of hatred in his voice. Of course, Minato, being who he is, was just about to push further, try to probe, until a loud bang sound could be heard. The Hokage's door burst straight open, and out came in his 4 kids: Menma, Mito, Naomi, and Minato Jr. And they was all shouting, Dad, can you teach us that new jutsu you made? Hanger jutsu? Naruto being who he is, he said sure. He said we could use this as a little spar to test your skills. So they all go to training out, because everybody has already been assigned their getting teams, except a few teams, because mostly failed the bell tests and some of them passed, but like one member didn't. And so Naruto passed with flying colors. He only uses 2 shurikens, as he just blindfolds himself, throw them in the air, and they just go straight towards the sun. Look like a direct miss. Everybody started laughing at Naruto. That's when Naruto turns around, and the shurikens just start hurtling down towards each other until they hit a leaf, causing the shurikens to inch closer until you heard a loud clap. Shurikens break apart, hitting the targets. Bullseye, breaking through them, hitting the second set of targets before bouncing off, thanks to chakra. And one of the shurikens take form of a lion. No, let's make it a bear, while the other one took a form of a wolf. They marched straight toward the final targets, hitting them in the bullseye, splintering the targets down, making it look like child's play. Naruto was surprised. He went beyond 10. Usually you have to have at least 4 shurikens on you, but he did it with only 2, with a direct miss. It just shows off Naruto's prodigy level, unaware that someone was watching this with their dying breath. So we skip to our little Atsuki person who's gonna give Naruto his karma. So I came up with a name for this guy, and I'm just gonna name him Gaiden. That's his last name. So his front name, I was gonna name him Shiro. Yeah, Shiro Glider. So Shiro Glider was a Atsuki king, but he became a god, and then sooner or later he was betrayed by, like, basically betrayed by his own clan for his power. He ate many planets, but instead of destroying the planet, he just killed off whatever was basically hating someone, just entering the cycle of hatred. He killed that person, and whoever followed that person. And he took all the good things off the planet, even the plants and animal itself. And only the evil people was killed off. He brought them all back. And even some of them joined the Atsuki clan. They were strong, but still weaker compared to the older versions of the Atsuki clan. And everyone hated the fact that humans have joined the clan. So they slaughtered them and joined forces with every other Atsuki faction. Because it was kind of split into 4, with the ones being low, like poor grade Atsuki, to mid grade to high grade Atsuki, attacking the king, well, basically the god of Atsuki. Normally this will work, but say there's a certain event that they made the Atsuki god to use his powers to like 99% of his extent of powers. Sorry about that, but he managed to stop a gigantic asteroid from hitting the home planet Atsuki. And they took this as an opportunity to kill him and steal his power. They managed to mortally wound him to a critical state, which forced him to leave a karma seal. And of course, he wanting peace, he didn't decide to put his consciousness in it. He put like a sliver of his soul in it to help whoever finds his karma seal. And he'll only pick the wisest. And Naruto came with a perfect description of it. But in order for Naruto to get his karma seal, a trial must go by. Trial of hardship. So the karma seal kind of goes ahead of time and gives someone a certain power, try to kill Naruto. And that will be Minato. Try to kill Naruto, since he found out finally who Naruto was. The whisker marks didn't vanish. And during this, Minato tried to sneakily kill Naruto, while Kurama stopped him, but he still managed to get a slight wound on Naruto, being exhausted from using 50 chakra seals on his body, boosting his chakra reserves. And of course, you wonder how he did it. Naruto used his new style, hanger style. Hanger style, form 1. No hang, no jutsu. Basically, this jutsu acts almost like a hanger, plastic hanger. But it twists and shifts in every direction, like Flying Raijin. But the dangerous part of it is he launches multiple kunais and they just start turning into shurikens, aiming straight at the target. So it's missiles, basically. And if they hit the target will not only be stunned, but blow up on contact. So exploding shurikens, a really good bloodline he managed to come up to use his ass, because his only resolve on speed. So he does have, I'm going to give him a watered down version of Swift Release, because every hater needs a watered down version and a strong version of something. So yeah, Naruto used swift release and quickly evaded the attack, but still got wounded by one of the weaker sharp nail, you call it, and that kind of hit a nerve cluster, causing Naruto to quickly be in pain and can't use chakra for like 10 seconds. And Kurama stepped in and kicked Minato in his stomach, sending him flying into a tree and saying, "You already completed the Chunin exams. We're leaving this village." And of course, they beat Gara of the Sand, transforming. I'm going to skip through a lot of this guy, sorry. But yeah, during this time, someone appeared right before when Kurama turned around to stab Naruto. And that person jumped in, dying. And he said he knew Kurama, and it basically was, sorry about that, but his previous reincarnation of his father, and gives him a karma seal. Yeah, basically, his previous father's reincarnation gave him a karma seal, thanks to Shiro Gaiden, or Glider. He's going to name him Gaiden. Gives him that karma seal. And what happens is it transfers and gives Naruto a godly power. And Kurama, knowing this, had trained Naruto in that karma seal's power, unlocking everything. Naruto being helpful for it, but still was neglected for it, unlocking every last dojutsu that now exists in the world. And looking at the moon, he sees someone trapped in it. He sees that there was grief in her chakra, and she was watching down over him. So we're gonna stop right here, and I'll tell you this in the next part. So see you guys. Make sure you subscribe, comment down below of the next fanfic or whatever, or if you want to see any gameplays. So comment down below what you think, and see you guys later.